these conversations can get so good that we want to make sure we get it going fast. Everybody has such great information to share on what they're doing with their business, what's working for them, what's not working for them. And it's all about us working together. And that's one thing I love about our Serve 365 business, because as you all know, everybody is heading down to the convention in Galveston, and then they're going to be getting on a Carnival cruise ship and cruising a few days together. And so that's always a lot of fun. Rick and I will be heading to Canada to one of our, or I say one of our sons, but he's a really good close friend of my son, my biological son. So we have claimed him, I mean, oh goodness, since he was what, 10, 12? I've been claiming him as my son, and his mother claims our son Cameron as her son. And so we've known him for so long, and we're so excited about him getting married. And next week he's getting married in Canada. So Rick and I are going to be going to that. But to the folks who are making it down to the convention, I'm so excited for them. They're going to have a lot of fun. They're going to learn a lot. We heard there's going to be several great things rolled out that, of course, we're all excited about. And it's all about working your business, and it's all about understanding what we have. There is nothing else out there like what we have. We have it all. I mean, if you take your time, and a lot of you already know this, so I'm kind of, preaching to the choir. I know you know how great of a business that we have, but it's always great to go back and think about it and talk about all the great things, because if you don't share, then how are people going to know, how the new people going to know if something's working for you? Share that. This world is so big. You will not stumble. You will not find somebody else in this group or that group, because it's a lot of people out there. And I think when you start thinking that way, because I'm all about positive thinking, I'm all about words of affirmations, positive words, because we can talk ourselves sick, we could talk ourselves healthy. So you want to make sure that words that are coming out of your mouth are positive words. What you're taking your time thinking about is positive, and the more you think about that, the more you will be that. The words that you speak, the things that you think, you do that over and over and over again, you're going to see it come to pass. That's just like folks talking. You guys remember back in the day, a vision board was the way to go, man. Everybody was doing vision boards. Everybody was grabbing magazines and cutting out pictures of the car they want to drive, the home they want to live in, all these great things, what you want your kitchen to look like, where you want to live, the vacations you want to take. Big dream, dream, dream. Do you want to have 3 homes, a home here, a home there, and a home here? Whatever you wanted, everybody was cutting it out and putting it on a vision board. And then, of course, you would put your vision board somewhere where you would always see it. But you guys know, once you have something in a place, you all of a sudden, I don't know how long it takes, but you start not even seeing it. It's almost like you walk right by it and you don't see it. And so you want to make sure you're always playing with it, adding things to it, looking at it. But one thing about affirmations, when you're talking it and when you're saying it, yes, seeing it, looking at your vision board and reciting to yourself what you want, actually going into your physical and how you're going to feel when you're there, what it's going to feel like. I remember The Secret way back when we were in Colorado, and I remember Laura, she had like tons of copies of Secret, that's because it was such a big deal on how you could actually see yourself, believe yourself, so these things can happen. And if you haven't seen it, I think you can grab it now on YouTube. It's really easy to get it and watch it. It's a video, And it talks about a guy who couldn't walk and he visualized himself walking out of the hospital. It talks about a guy who wanted a car and he found himself sitting in his living room, feeling how the car is going to feel when he's driving it. So those are the things that video taught you. And it took you to the next step. Because, see, we all would do our vision board. We would all say our affirmations, and we would all see it and say it over and over and over again. But we had to do the extra step. And that extra step was taking the time to feel it. We believe it, yes. We see it, yes. But now when you go to that next step of actually feeling what it's going to feel like when you're actually achieving your goal, living your dream, whatever that's like. So if that's like sitting on the beach with blue water and your feet's in the sand, feel what that'll feel like. See what that'll see, what you'll see when you're there. Try to imagine what are you going to be smelling, because that's another sense that's pretty powerful is your smell, because you can smell something and be totally turned off. Oh man, I don't like that smell. And you can smell something that makes you happy. It could be a favorite fragrance. It could be somebody cooking something that reminds you of when whoever was cooking that would make you feel great and you would laugh, sit and talk around the table and eat. So all your senses. So if you can get all your senses working to what you want, it is amazing how that feels to you. And then believing and watch how it comes to pass. So I think it's a really, really powerful thing to do. And some of us, it might take longer than others, but it's okay. The whole belief thing that it's going to happen, you're going to have it, whatever it is, and don't give up. That's another thing. You cannot give up. You have to be relentless. You have to be consistent. You have to make sure that no matter what, I'm not going to stop till I achieve my goal. When you look at all of these motivational speakers, and even the newer ones popping up now, the younger motivational speakers popping up now, the ones who are influenced on all the different types of social media platforms, they've been talking this for years, and they decided to never give up. And when you go into their background and say, oh, that's a young kid, man, if you go into their background, you'll find out that this kid has been talking since he knew how to talk. He has been telling people jokes since he knew how to tell a joke. It's not a new thing. People have been doing it over and over and over again. And it's not any overnight sensation. And now I'm going to say this too. There are some people that they do luck out like that, where it's like, bam, they have it all real fast and you're trying to figure that out. Who knows? I haven't figured it out. If so, I'd be selling it and then boom, I have it all too. So it's everybody's different, but the main thing, whatever you're doing, you just have to be consistent. Even if it is a home you want, and you have to, I was talking to someone the other day, and I said, oh, you have this great job, and you're young, and you da-da-da-da. Well, what you need to do now is start focusing on what you want, because that delayed gratification is great. When you start, people have more fun planning their vacation than actually on their vacation. Because when you're sitting back and planning your vacation, you're getting excited about going and when you're going. You got a little countdown. I know you've seen it on social media where people are saying how many days they have before their cruise. Everybody's getting excited. We're on the phone back and forth with our kids on where we're staying, what are we renting, this car, this minivan, what we got to do this, what are we going to do when we're there? So everybody starts planning and getting excited about things that are going on. You figure I'm going to be seeing some people next week that I haven't seen in, years. but we all coming together to celebrate this one event. And we get excited about it. And just like the people who are going to the convention now, they're going to see people that they haven't seen in years, and they're all excited because they're going to be learning new information, and everybody wants to see our company grow. Everybody wants to see our company be number one. And we all do that by working together, sharing information, because if something's working for you, why would you not want to share it with someone else? Because they have a whole different bubble that they're in with different people, and they know different this and different that. So yes, share it, because the more successful everybody is, the more successful the company will be. So I think when we take that attitude to make sure you believe it, be relentless, never give up, visualize it, see it, use all your senses. You know, you go to a car dealer and you go in and you smell the new car. It's like, wow, that's a great smell. You know, remember that so you can think about when you're driving whatever your dream car is. And don't give up. You're going to drive your dream car. Why not? You know, you can do that. And I think when people put a hold on it and they make a decision that I'm going to do this, and then there's another thing that I like to do. I'm not concerned about the process. I'm not concerned about the process. I'm not trying to. Now, I know a lot of people would say, no, you have to put your goal where you want it, and then you got to count back, you know, how many presentations you have to do, how many people you have to talk to, how many this and that. I'm the one that's not concerned about that. That to me is tiring, but everybody's different. You know, you have some people who believe that. They believe that they have to have it step by step written down on everything they have to do. I believe, and this is my feeling, not everybody's, because everybody's different, and that's what's great about this company. We're all different. We all work differently. That, hey, when it comes, it comes. I believe in the law of attraction. It's coming. It's coming. You know, it's coming. It's coming. And it's exciting for me. And then I don't have to feel bogged down, and I don't have to be whatever the mood that would have put me in if I didn't do this and if I didn't do that. But some people need that type of motivation. Some people need that type of accountability. People need accountability partners. People learn different. So find out how you learn and what works for you, and then do it. And when you start doing it, don't stop. Continue. And make sure it's something that you find to be fun. That's another thing. We're in the travel business, so it's supposed to be fun. So if it's not fun, then why are you doing it? So find out what's fun for you. If you like, I know we have some people that post 3 or 4 times a day on social media. If that's fun for you, I follow some people that post that much. I had to unfollow some people that post that much. But find out what works for you and what's fun. And then once you start doing it, just stick with it. And give yourself some time. You know, like, okay, I'm going to do this. I started this walking, and I said, you know, getting motivated from my buddy over there in Seattle. I thought, okay, I'm going to walk. But what happened, every time I would start, I'm like, oh, man, I got to do this. I got to do this. And then the weather here, if you don't get out before, I say 7 o'clock in the morning, you're not walking far. So I decided, oh, well, I can walk here. You know, I don't have to go there or here. I can do just this. I can put on my workout outfits, and I can do that right here. See, you do not want to have to limit yourself, because that's what I like about Jim Clear, Atomic Habits. He talks about how you start a habit, and you start a habit by slowly introducing yourself to a habit. So we can put that to our business. We'll start off with our business, and we're like, today's the day. I'm going to sit down, and I'm not going to get up until I make my 25 calls. That's my goal today, 25 calls. Well, some of us who's been in the business for quite a while, we don't really have 25 new people that we can call what we would end up doing is calling our people that are in our team, asking them how they're doing, what can I do to help, how's your goal doing, how blah, blah, blah. So it really depends on where you are. So make sure you can strategize to do what you need to do when you need to do it. And don't get bogged down on just that alone. That one thing right there is, oh man, Brenda, I don't know 25 people. How am I not talking with? Don't let that trip you up. Because see, then you'll sit there, you'll be tripping up about it, and it's not necessary. And so just go out. I know there's a lot of different groups, and of course they require you not to share your business if you join a group on social media, but that's okay. You're just joining the group to see what's going on, to watch what people are doing, or because it's fun. I remember back in the day, we used to do, well, we didn't do it, Angie did it. She did they were called meetups. And so now they have these meetups on social media. But back in the day, they actually had meetups, and you would go and sign up, and you would meet at different restaurants or different folks' houses or whatever. And that was a way that she met new people. And so she did a meetup, and she wanted to learn how to cook Italian food. She really wanted to learn how to cook tiramisu. That was the one thing that she really wanted to learn. So she joins this meetup really with just the intention to learn how to cook Italian food. And of course, she made friends. And then she also started doing a knitting class. She started going and doing a knitting class with some ladies that she met. And then she got together and started doing a knitting class. And between the tiramisu and the knitting, she put a cruise together of 90 people. And she didn't go in there saying, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to meet these people. I'll make this cruise happen. She just went to meet new people. And what happens is when you meet new people, folks start talking. What do you do? So I don't know how that works with groups now and social media because I haven't done that. But she was physically talking to the ladies, and when everybody's knitting together, they started sharing trips and where they want to go and what they want to do. And she was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna put a trip together. And they're like, oh yeah, really? Where? And even my mother and I, we went to this cruise that she put on, and it was a foliage cruise. It was, I think it was in September, October sometime. And we left out of New York City and we went up and we saw all the foliage and went all the way up to Canada. And it was very nice. And she started that off just by making friends. So that's what I'm saying. Don't get all tired and whatever, worn out and depressed and unhappy because you're not meeting people fast. It's okay.
Brenda?
Yes, go right ahead.
This is Darlene. On you saying that, there was a young lady that had come and joined our church, and she joined the usher board, and I hadn't seen her in a while, and I kept up with her on Facebook, and I seen she had surgery and all this stuff. So, and then I saw that she was going places with all these ladies, always going to these restaurants and all this stuff. So I texted her one day and I said, hey, I said, I haven't seen you at church, but I sure see you out with going out and about. I said, how do you find these places? She said, I belong to a group and it's called Brown Skin. Wait a minute. It's called, hold on a minute, Brown Skin Bruncheon. And it's a group.
Oh, okay.
It's a group of Black ladies. Well, I saw a couple. I did go to one of the meetings, and there was a couple of different ladies there. But these ladies, they're all over. They have them in Texas, New Orleans. They're all over. And the area that's out here, is the Tacoma area. And so I went to one of the brunches and found out that the ladies there, they do a lot of traveling. And then when they found out that I do travel, they said, well, we got somebody right here, because they weren't, the places, whoever it is that they're going to, they're not happy with that person. So I gave them my information and stuff. So they have been, hitting me up to, do a few things. So I'm just just gonna sit back and see how big of a group I can get, because there's the ones from New Orleans are getting ready to go to Greece, and they've invited all of the ladies all over to go along with it.
Oh, nice,
So yeah,
nice.
so that you're right about getting into a group and finding friends and getting to know people. And this is right here in Tacoma, and some of the ladies I already knew, but I never knew about the group. Back to you.
Wow. That that's awesome. See, it's amazing how just the little idea of what Angela did is it works, you know. And then there's also, I don't know if you guys, well, I don't know if you, a lot of people are familiar with them. They're called the Red Hatters, and they're ladies over. Oh man, I'm trying to remember. I think they're over 60 or 65 because I remember when I
Yes.
first heard about them when we lived in Colorado and I wanted to join, and the lady was like, "No, you're too young to be a red hatter. You could be a pink hatter." So for my age group, they had ladies that, you know, it was pink hatters, and the pink hatters, you know, they were like the younger ladies from the red hats, and they do different things in the community, and they you know, they just do a lot of different things. So find your niche. It
Mm.
doesn't have to limit to who you know. There's so many different things out there. And even if you're tired of your niche because they're not doing anything, there's so many other different things that you can do out there to find people. Now, I haven't really ventured out here to find anyone because I have enough cousins that I'm still kind of hanging out with and getting more familiar with. But there is so many things that you can do. It really depends on what you like doing. Because even in when we were in Colorado, they had the bicycle club, you know, so they had people that they would go bicycling. They had different climbing clubs that they did. I know my daughter found out about at church, there was something that they would do. And that's another thing too. Churches have different things that they do outside of church. And she was involved in the young group, and they would get together and have Bible study here and there. And, you know, so there's so many different things out there depending on what you want to do. And so Rick and I, we laugh at each other because we have some family members that go to this church, and we watch them online, and we see our family, you know, on TV. And it's almost like, whoo, we're going to take a minute because we know how we are. And without even trying, soon as we join, we're going to end up in some committee. We're going to end up doing something, you know. So we are, oh my, we are taking our time because whatever, that's just how we are. And even my cousin was telling me a couple of weeks ago, they had like the pastor appreciation dinner, and they had a hard time finding people to come and help the lady decorate the little hall where they have all their dinners and stuff. I would have been right in the middle of that. Okay, let's do some flowers. Let's do that.
Yeah,
So
minding
we
my
just
own
taking
business.
minding my own business. So it's really not as hard as you think. It's really not as hard as you think to get active and meet some new people. Rick, do you want
Brenda.
to share something?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and this it's all perspective. It's all perspective. Become a person of value. Become a person of value and doing the things that you love. And then once you become a person of value doing the things that you love, people will find you. And all of a sudden you will say, oh, okay, I can meet that need. I can meet that need. This is not just a network marketing business. This is an opportunity to acquire a skill set. This is an opportunity to have access to a $9 trillion industry. It's an opportunity to acquire a skill set in as a travel advisor or in any area of travel. You know, and when you have that as a perspective, people will find you. One of the things that we want to make sure, especially with our team and the people that are on our team and the ones who aren't but listen to us, is that This is not just recruit, 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 recruit. This is identify needs. And because I know my business, here's what I can do for you. Here's what I can do for you. Here's what I can do for you. And then the recruiting happens as a natural course. The things that Brenda and I are doing in South Carolina, it's amazing. We are professionals. You want to become and identify yourself as a professional. And then no matter what group you join, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you could be pumping gas and you're needs minded and you're going to see where somebody needs you based on your profession. It may be the profession of connecting people. It may be the profession of consoling people, counseling. You know, what is that gift? You know, Surge is a tool to facilitate the gift that you already have. So when we have the right perspective of who we are in life and providing a service and the right perspective of what Surge 365 allows us and gives us access to, right? I'm here minding my own business. A friend of mine says, hey, Rick, I just became chief of staff for Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street. And we know the old Black Wall Street from Tulsa. Well, this is Black Wall Street, the continuation online and also within every city. And he says, I'm chief of staff, and I know that you have the vortex. I want you to come on. Brenda, I didn't even tell you this. He said, I want you to come on. And he gave me a title, Chief of Staff Global Affairs, that is responsible for fundraising. And of course, you know, we work with the Vortex. We use the travel agency for career opportunities. And so me armed with all of this, I'm like, you know, how much work do I have to do? But one of the things I've learned, and this is why you have to be fearless. When the Lord puts things in front of you, you know, like Darlene, you went to that meeting without any fear and you found something. You found a nugget. When we are sure that we are sure that we are sure that what I have has value, and that I'm not trying to hide it under a rock. I'm studying it every day. I'm learning it every day. Like Glenn says, I'm doing my 10,000 hours. This person. I'm doing my 10,000 hours. I'm putting it in. You become that professional that no matter, and I'm telling you, this is the absolute truth. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Brenda. When you become that which you seek comes. That's all you got to do is become that which you seek, and that which you are seeking will come to you. Back to you, Brenda.
Oops, there you go. Wow, that was good. You figure, and it's the law of attraction. And the law of attraction is so real. And you know how you just be thinking about something, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, that's right, there it is. Or you'll be thinking about a person who you haven't talked to in a long time, and they'll call. Or you'll call them and they'll say, oh, I was just thinking about you. How are you doing? What's going on? That law of attraction is so real. And even when we're out and you start thinking about something, it's going to be right there. You know, all you have to do is, oh, I'm thinking, I can't believe, even this is fun and this is easy to do. Just start thinking about a parking spot. This is something, or red lights or green lights, and watch how, man, I've never driven from point A to point B and caught all green lights. It is something how that happens. Even when, and the reason why I'm putting those out there, because they're quick and they're immediate for you to see the results. And even with a parking space, you know, we say, when I go out, I'm like, oh man, I always get really good parking spots. And I sure do. I'll get a good parking spot where I am in and out, in and out. I don't have to drive around. You see people driving around for a good 15, 20 minutes looking for a parking space. I do not drive around and waste all that valuable time looking for a spot. I'll drive in, and that's another, and now and my attitude is different too. I don't have to be right at the door. I don't have to be the third one from the door. I'll get a good parking spot. And so you have to open up your mind too and be ready to receive, because people don't want to take that parking lot walk either. It's almost like, well, why not? That's good for you. You want to stretch your legs. But for some reason, when I took the attitude of, I don't mind stretching my legs, I can go about 8 or 9, 10 car lengths from here to the door, and it never happens. There's a spot all close. I'm like, man, I wanted to get some steps in. But when you change how you think about stuff and not be like, oh man, every time you turn around, I'm way back here, I gotta walk over. What's wrong with walking? You want to get your steps in. I know I want to get my steps in, and I've been really doing a great job of getting my steps in every day, because that's my mindset. I wake up, I'm not going to do anything else, until I do my devotion, and boom, right into my steps. And I kind of let it roll into each other, because from my devotion and my praise songs, then I just roll into my steps. And I've made that a habit because it is easy. And back to James Clear, when you want to do a habit, make it easy, make it simple. See, what happens is when we set a goal, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to work out for 2 hours. Okay, so now you got to get up, you got to decide what time you're going to go. And then, okay, wait a minute, I got to get the gym's funny. So the shoes that I wear to the gym, I can't get on the gym floor with for whatever reason, if you play basketball or this and that, all these different things that now you're saying, boy, that's a lot of work just to go and work out. It's not really, but it's how you're thinking about it. It's how you're thinking about it. So if you're thinking that, oh, I got to do this, this, and that, man, I got to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then go, oh, that's just too much. But
that's right. We make millions. even secluded in Charleston, South Carolina. We make millions. Yes. When you change the way you think about things, the things you think about change.
It does. It does.
We're creating something here, even in Charleston, South Carolina. And what do you want? Think about it. Write it down. What is the life that you're looking to build? What is the business you're looking to build? Now, in the business, I'm the top earner in Search 365. I don't care. Why? Because I know how to use the vortex. And I make billions moving money with the vortex. Not just for me, but moving money with people, organizations, businesses. I create jobs for people in the community, with the career opportunity in hospitality and tourism. I help rich people who want to save money travel the world. I help organizations travel the world with the vortex, with the membership, and so I'm using these and I'm defining what happens and how I use them. I am the top earner in Search 365, and it will be recognized because I have people on this call. You're the top earners in Search 365. Do you hear anybody in the company talking like we talk about the vortex? No, you don't hear nobody. We have been giving a gift of revelation. The way we talk about the membership, the way we talk about career opportunities and travel and being able to bring jobs to the community and the people who are in foster care programs aging out, and the people who are in the prison system that can't get jobs, and the homeless, and the things we're going to do in the community, and creating pipelines of wealth that flow from the travel industry without any hesitation, without any blockage with the vortex, because of people saying, hey, I want to raise money that flow into our communities or wherever we direct it to flow. This is what we have, and this is what we do, and this is what we're declaring, and this is how we think. you know. And when we start to understand the power that we have, you become mobile. Like Brenda and I can move from Colorado Springs to Charleston and gain beats, not miss beats. I'm like, I get involved in all this stuff. It's because of the creation, you know, and being able to create the life you desire without fear. Now, here was a lesson that I had to learn, and I've actually grown from Colorado Springs. I even exercised it today here, Brenda, you know, is that and initially when I started getting involved in all of these other like high net worth people and all these things and thinking that I had to actually do something that I didn't want to do and I didn't know, I was like, yeah. And I was going to say, no, I need to stay in my lane. Travel. I'm not doing. And then I said, okay, you don't even know what your lane is. Know that you have a skill set and that, like you said earlier, Brenda, everything that you need to do the thing that needs to get done will show up as you walk. As you walk. And so the things that I thought I had to do, I didn't have to do. But it took me into a whole nother area. And even today, with the guy saying, "Hey, Rick, I want you to be my chief of staff for global affairs, you know, for Black Wall Street." I told him, I said,
Yeah,
"You
you
know
didn't share
what?
that one with me.
That's because I just learned it as I'm on the phone right here now and texting right now." And I was like,
Oh.
I don't want to do. I'm not trying to get a job and trying to work. But then I thought about the lesson that I learned when we moved down here. And I'm like, you don't even know what you don't know. And he says, Rick, the network that we have access to and to global network to influence people. I know that you know the Vortex. I know that you know Surge. He says, I've got my TV network. I want you to start putting commercials on it. Da, da, da. And I'm like, focus on what you have and change your perspective that it's what the world needs. And don't be afraid. I almost said, nah. I don't want to do that. Nah. But I held my peace, Brenda. Now we'll see where that goes, but we know that it can only go for good. Back to you.
You know,
Hello, hello.
hey,
Hello,
that's
hello.
one of the things that we do on these calls, and personally, we talk, we share information and these processes. What Rick just said, there's been opportunities that come up that somebody has expertise in that area, and it's a blessing to have people to bounce that off of, that know what they're talking about, that have the experience. I know several times people have gotten to approach you to have you get on a board, and it's good to have somebody to bounce that off of, to use wisdom in making decisions. I've had some people in my life. You only get a few of these people in your lifetime, and they wanted to try to put me in a position. And one question they said, "What happened to the last guy that was in that position?" You know, use wisdom, do your homework. There's been times people try to get you on the board. I mean, they'll throw you in a slot quick. And just like Rick said, and I've approached him sometimes with some opportunities. He said, "You know what? You don't want to be on that board. You got to know what that's all about before you go stepping in." So use the wisdom. Go ahead,
True.
Chantel.
That's true.
Also, you know what? One thing I have learned in all these years, 63 years young here, is your desires are included. Generational wealth is my desire. I may not be excited about some of the other things I'm hearing. That may not, make my baby leap, so to speak. But there is something in me that I'm excited about. Walk that out. Live that. What is the thing that you, even this month is not over yet. Even today, it's just getting started, literally. What are the things you want to do today? What do you want? It's like taking a walk with my grandson yesterday. I was going out to walk, but I said, you know what? I want him to walk with me. So I invited him to go walking, and really the whole walk was about him. We're getting back to the generational wealth again, because as you are moving in your life, you're pouring that life into this generation. That is, that's in my psyche. There is nothing that I do on this earth since I was a little girl that does not include my family, ever. And as I was thinking about that, I got a beep in from my sister, and we're going to a wedding soon, and we're all getting excited. Our niece, Charmaine's only daughter, is getting excited. This is like the prince of Egypt.
Amen.
Getting ready to get married. Okay, this is how huge this is, and we're all getting pumped up, getting excited. But it's because I'm about to see my brothers and sisters. I'm about to see the nieces and nephews. I'm about to see my people. You know, back to the generational wealth, because there is an idea of what we want our family to experience. And yes, some of that is fun. I want my people to have some fun. You know, that's a part of who we live, even in the experience that we've already lived out. And people be tracking us down. Glenn he's got people that find him. He could be under a rock, and those brothers are going to find him. I am not even playing with you. I'm like, that's kind of deep, you know? But that is the love that you have poured out and shared with other people. So let your desires come alive. You know, some of you're sitting here, I feel it, and you're like, oh, I'm not excited about that at all. Okay, what are you excited about? Walk that out. This is a tool to help you walk it out. Take the tool and put it out there and watch what happens with that. But do your own dance. I cannot do whoever that is. I can't do her dance. I can't do Brenda's dance. I can't do Rick's. I can be in a duplication of that because I've learned to do that. That's a part of my desires. So I can do, you know, a portion of that, but to walk what I got,
That's right.
do what I do while I'm doing what I do, I can do that well. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
You know, that's been the talk in this house all week about instead of focusing on other people, focus on you.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's the truth.
You know, Rick said they're not even the same people. That's true. I'm sitting here and I'm looking and it says, be the new you. Be the best you. And things will fall into place. And Chantel said, you know what, those other people don't even matter.
It's true.
Go ahead, Rick.
You can't move other people. You know, all you can do is motivate and move yourself.
We got an echo.
No, that's not me.
Is that Ed? Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah.
Barely.
I was just chiming in on what my family said, you know, Miss Chantel Aiden, cousin. It's definitely something that we have is special, and we got definitely recognize it on this team. And when everybody else recognizes it, the floodgates are open, and that's a matter of time. But just being in the know is more than the gratitude of just being in the know, knowing where this company is going, knowing where we can position other people, knowing where we can position other communities. Like Rick said, we're the only team in SIRS that's talking this way, and focusing on directing the vortex towards helping our communities and building up our nation and other nations as well. And it's a powerful thing that we have. And just to see everything coming together, you know, it's just a matter of time. Pieces are being put in place. Things are happening, whether you know it or not. Things are happening behind the scenes. And it's an exciting place. I just want to encourage everybody like I do. I'm an encourager. Stay excited, stay plugged in. Get your roadmap detailed out. It's time to start walking it out and putting the rubber to the road. But you got to know where that road is going to take you. And you got to be willing to go through whatever's on that road because you know where the road's going. I always say to encourage people it's kind of like, and I had to encourage myself with this, and it's kind of like if you know the destination of your journey, you know the path is going to take you there. There is no question. You are going to get there. All you have to do is keep walking. The question I had to ask myself is, does it matter what goes on during that time, during the journey? It does when you're learning, yes. But you got to understand that everything you encounter in that journey is for your development to get you to that final place, to get you to your destination. So it's kind of like to encourage everybody, don't be hard on yourself if something doesn't come through. If it doesn't come through, it just means you need to learn. You need to continue to grow. And we all have. I can tell by the conversations on this call that we have every week. We've all grown so much in the last couple of years. And now it's just time for activation. Go ahead and put forth your dreams and your goals, your vision, put the action to it. And that is I feel it in my bones. Now's the time. There's never been a better time, and there may never will be. So why not? Because all we get is one day anyway. I mean, honestly. Tomorrow's not promised. It never was. That's why it's a gift when you see another day. And when you do, you just grab everything you learned from the days before and apply it to the day that you're in and make it happen. Like I said, I've gone through a lot of no's. I've gone through a lot of, it's a scam. I've gone through that. I've gone through all the rejection you could think of and the name calling and speculation. I'm like, okay. I just
don't even
like I said before.
No more.
No, I don't. It's just target practice. I'm just perfecting my craft because somebody's going to say yes. And when they do, that's a wrap. That's a wrap.
And I really have come to the place, and I've been here a long time, that I'm doing the sorting. And when somebody is not there, they just sorted themselves out. I don't waste any time. I don't waste any energy. I don't waste any time. And because they sort themselves out. Because I'm the one that's doing the interviewing. I'm the one that's doing the sorting. And we get to the person who understands and can see me. And then that's who we're working with. And when you become what you seek, that person that you're looking for, actually, you're visible to them and they can see you. The greatest thing that I've learned coming to Charleston from Colorado Springs is that no matter at what level you are, fear is the door to the next level. No matter where you are, fear will give you an indication that you're ready for a promotion. If you can step past your fear, promotion is on the other side of that fear. No matter where you are, fear is the door to your next level. And overcoming that fear is the entrance to that next level. And you got to go through, like somebody was saying, you got to go through to get through. We don't even know enough to say no to different opportunities that come to us, or yes. And one of the things that I think has been my greatest lesson in moving to Charleston and going through the door of fear to find the promotion, after I've got about 3 promotions since I've been in Charleston, and it continues to rise, it continues to flow, because I've learned that I don't even know enough to say no to different things if it feels right in my spirit. That just go and do. The things that I thought I would have to do, I don't even have to do, and I've been promoted beyond it. And I've been promoted beyond that. And I've been promoted beyond, and at the verge of me saying no. And I look back and I'm like, oh my God. If I had said no, I would have. And not, you're looking for surgeons, like Chantel said, the desires of your heart are going to lead you to generational wealth, are going to lead you to generational freedom. Be careful about the path, like Ed's saying, the journey to get there. Don't get caught up in the journey. You have the destination. And when that door of fear shows up, maybe I got to speak. Maybe I'm thinking my time. Maybe I'm thinking money. When that door of fear shows up, and you're going to feel it, know this: on the other side of that door is your promotion. When you disregard the fear that could potentially grip your soul, right, and turn your back with your tail between your legs, to delay and procrastinate another 5 years, 1 year, 1 month, 1 hour, it doesn't matter. Procrastination. Know that if I can just stir up the faith, and Debbie says this, the faith in whatever letter stands for, every letter, the faith within me to just override the fear that grips me, and you'll find that the thing that you feared, you didn't have to do. Here's what happens. Either somebody will come to do it, or you will be downloaded the gift in the moment of your faith to accomplish it. And 9 times out of 10, you never even had to do it. False evidence appearing real. Back to you, Brenda.
Hey, Rick, there's I'm not a real big movie buff like I once was. I mean, most of the stuff they put out nowadays are just pure garbage, especially if you go to the theater. I mean, society is just on a runaway path of corruption, or whatever you want to call it. But there are a few favorites that I have. One is Rambo. Of course, that brings out the warrior in me, bucking the system and all that. But I often refer back to the Matrix. And lo and behold, and I say, hey, we are unplugged from the Matrix. And when you're unplugged, you see the reality of what's really going on. So we are unplugged from that Matrix. I'm sitting here the other night, and lo and behold, Matrix Resolutions comes on. Of course, I'm going to get my popcorn now. And I sit here and I watch that movie, and it just blows me away every time, the parallels that it makes to Kingdom Battle, the Kingdom Battle. And I mean, it's all through there. It's just amazing. But it gets to the end thing. After the war has been won, the battle has been fought, the war has been won, and there's a character called the Oracle. And if you look up the word Oracle and see what that means, you're supposed to be able to see all things, kind of thing. And one of the characters that guards the bodyguard for the Oracle, once the sunshine comes out, the darkness leaves, and he says, well, you saw this coming, didn't you? The Oracle says, no, I did not know the outcome, but I believed. Back to you, Rick.
That's deep. Amen. Amen. Back to you, Brenda.
You could tell Glenn, who liked that movie, he probably sits down and say all the lines to that movie. No, I believe. I know that scene because that's a really powerful scene in that movie. Because I like the whole trilogy. I could sit there and watch all of it, the whole day. But Rick will tell you that I could sit there and binge watch a season after season after season. But
I'll grow my old man time beard. And,
I'll be watching. But
hilarious.
It's what you like to do. It's what you like to do. And if I can do that, and I can do so many other things while I'm doing that. But go ahead, Ed.
Hey, Rick and Brenda, I want to throw another one out. Y'all like the Matrix? I'm hung on the Lord of the Rings. And the one part that still gives me chills when I think about it, and if you refer to it towards yourself, is when the Elf Queen shows Frodo his journey and says to him, if you don't do it, no one else will. That still hits deep to me. Because you have your dream, you have your purpose, you have your goals, but it's not just you're doing it for. But you got to understand it's still yours. If you don't do it, it's not given to anyone else. It's not going to happen no matter how much you want to happen, no matter how much you think someone else will do better. It's not their work. It's yours. And if you don't do it, the change you want to see in this world, you see the change needed because it's your change to make. You know, and that's what we call ourselves, change makers, hope dealers, all that. Everyone on this call is powerful in their own self, in their own right, because we all have a journey that no one else can walk. No one else can complete. Matter of fact, no one else sees. So how important are you? Think about that when you go to bed tonight.
It's true. There's a work that only you can do. And more importantly, only you can see. That's why you can't convince somebody else to see your vision and depend on them to move or not as to whether you move or not. Because we have been uniquely prepared, born to do something, like you're saying, Ed, specific that nobody in this world can do, like a fingerprint. And that's why, like Glenn is saying, you can't look at the other person. You know, that's your fingerprint. You know, you can see that. And I think a person, when they come to that realization that only I can see my vision, I can't ask for validation, permission, or any of those things from anybody else, because only I can see it. It's invisible. And so when we are looking at somebody and they say no, and we say, well, I guess that's it. They can't even see you. And that's why like I say, I do the interviews because people can't see me unless they've been given permission and vision to see me. And so when somebody—
That's right, unless they have chosen the right pill.
Unless they have chosen the right film. The gentleman that I'm working with now saw me from a long way off and immediately, connect me to this massive global network, knowing that I have a unique skill set that he needs going forward. And I'm like, wow, there's somebody that will see you when you make yourself out, put yourself out, whether it's going to a meeting, whether it's letting people know what you do, only you know, whether it's just becoming. In fact, you can just become, and they will be sent. You don't have to even find them. They will be sent. Things that I'm doing now, these folks were sent to find me. And so the things that I've gone through prepared me uniquely for this time. The things that you're going through, there's no wasted time. The things that you're not behind, you're not ahead. The things that you're going through, continue with understanding and knowledge and belief. I think you were saying belief, to believe, man, just your belief, writing down vision. Go ahead.
You go ahead. It's vital. That part.
Writing down your like you talk about, Chantel, talk about vision and what you do in writing down your vision and the things that you do.
Oh my goodness. That vision, how far out can you see? I'm talking about all the way out into your generations for what the desire is with the purpose that you've been given. Just put it on paper. How far experience do you want your generations to have with no limits on it? Put it on the paper. Not by what you have walked out in your life, but what your desires are towards them. I wish you could see that vision board. It is so massive. And I was looking at it the other day, and I said, you could not have imagined all that. This thing was written like 2013, and it is still growing. into us. And this guy that showed up, that had the dream as a little child that the family would be in business together, and the girl who was sitting at home reading the magazines, entrepreneur magazines, and her mother was pouring the vision of an entrepreneur. You come on, people, you can't make this up. Somebody's desire was upon us in our generations. So now our responsibility, and I love what Ed says, because if I don't complete the portion that I was given, he's not going to give that to somebody else. That's my portion. In the scheme of things, how far out can you see? Way out there. What I want him to experience, what I'm dreaming towards him. That's why I take the walk with the kid. That's why I get up and she's in my room and she's putting on hats. I didn't give that to her. That's a dream in her. That's why we encourage our team, because we see you as the leaders that you are, way beyond what a company can say about you. That is vision. There's no limits on vision. It is the truth of the matter, the truth that you can have anything your heart's desire, because there is a yes on the end of that already. Before we hit the Earth's atmosphere, there was a yes on that. But when we really believe that, we're gonna step into it. Just like one of my favorites, and always will be, the Field of Dreams. Because whatever is needed, you step in that place at any given moment. It is amazing to me how that works. But what is needed on that field, you could have been your desire to be that baseball player, which you were great and all that, but you were needed as that doctor. And when that showed up in your life, you stepped into that place right there. I'm like, what? Real deal. That's who we are. No limits. Back to you, Rick.
And we should be plugged into something that is encouraging. If it's not encouraging you, or you're not learning from it, well, why are you there? Why are you wasting your time? What Ed was saying with the Frodo, the thing that got me about the Lord of the Rings is the chosen ones were the weakest. They were the Gideons, the weakest, smallest, most unlikely heroes that you could imagine with the hobbits. But they were the difference makers. They were the chosen ones. Back to you, Rick.
You know, people have faith in you that you have in yourself. It's a mirror. You know, if you can believe, and you know, like Chantel was saying, believe in the vision that God has given you, and have faith in that vision. It's almost like that's what's projected to the world. The world sees the faith that you actually see in yourself, and have in the faith that you see in your own vision. That's why if you could do that work and believe, you know, without any hesitation, without any, you know, condemnation. And that's one of the things, is that we're overcoming, you know, a training, you know, who do you think you are? You can't do this. My Brenda says, no, you know, growing up, you know, people saying, no, don't do, you know, we're overcoming that. We've got to overcome that, you know, and so that we can get on with our life. The people that we meet in the business, they're not familiar with what we're doing and talking about right now, because they're caught up in many cases in that whole thing of who am I, you know, trying to discover who they are. You know, we're seeing them from this place of growth, you know, and they don't, but they're not here yet. You know, that's one of our jobs. That's why study to teach, you know, learn to teach, you know, understand your business to build. You know, that's one of the beauties of everybody on this call. And I love how everybody speaks on this call, because we're all teachers, if you will. We are all anointed to teach. You know, this is a core group. You know, you are a part of a core group. You know, understand that. Take responsibility in that. You know, we get paid for, there's a pay that comes for that. And it may not be money. It will be money, but it's going to be growth. It's going to be seeing your life multiplied in other people. And as Chantel talks, in creating generational, that's not just wealth. That's a whole bunch of different things. That's taking a walk with a grandson. And that's a life-changing moment. Back to you, Brenda.
Hey, Rick.
Go ahead.
Hey, something that you said I thought about. I said, you know what a teacher is? A perfected student. You can only teach what you know. So we're all in the know. We're still yet students, but we're all in the know. We all have reached a place of experience and knowledge in this business and relating it to our lives where we can teach. So be confident in that you are a perfected student.
That's good.
Because one of the things that a teacher knows, a good teacher knows, is that you never stop learning. So a good teacher is always a student. But you have to, in the knowledge that you gain, you have to be a perfected student to even understand how to teach. You know, a good teacher knows the way, shows the way, but he also has gone the way. You know, and that's also a leader. That's also that's a guide. That's a parent. that's a mature one. You know, and anything that you do, if you're able to teach, you have some maturity about you, and you carry that confidence with you. Everybody on this phone, because there's people on this line that I've been in business with since the beginning, since Surge was created, and you've been here since Surge was created. You shouldn't have any doubt that you know what you're talking about, because you were here from the beginning.
That's true.
You were here from the beginning. You know Surge more than anybody because you were here from the beginning. You understand Surge from its infancy.
Wow.
So be in that confidence that when you talk to people, they have no idea what you're talking about. You, sir, you, ma'am, are a teacher. So what do? You teach. And when you teach a student that recognizes your knowledge is valuable, they'll say yes. And that's it. That's the secret, if you want to call it that. That's the golden nugget. Just be a teacher when you talk to people. Educate them on what you do. Educate them on what and how they can accomplish their dreams. It's not so much, like you say, Rick, it's not so much as the business itself. The business is a tool. What we do is connect people to their dreams, because we have a how. We have a how. There's so many people that have lost hope. There's so many people that stopped dreaming. There's so many people that have settled because they don't have a how. How can I accomplish this? How can I do this? How can I pay for this? This is what I want to do in my life. How can I pay for it? And we have a how. We have a tool. We have a why. I mean, we're teachers. Why? Because we've been here from the beginning. If you've been here from the beginning and you don't know nothing about Surge, I don't know what you're doing here. I'm being honest.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
How I get in my back office?
Don't go there. Anybody else?
You know, Brenda, I was just thinking.
I'm booking my trips on the Vortex.
You know, sometimes you look at the phone, you take a deep breath, and then you serve.
You do.
You know what I'm saying?
You do.
Then you serve. I was thinking about, even when you do not see yourself as that leader, even when you don't think you're that important, there is the one that created you who says, but you are. Until you catch up with yourself, I said you are. So he will literally throw you in a room with people, and then your gift will be required of you that will cause you to step off of the field of dreams into your calling, which has elevated you in so many levels that it's quite ridiculous right now, and still going. And we're just sitting back here enjoying the journey, traveling together, and this person is, putting our weekends together, and we're having all this fun. But you always were the one. I'm just saying. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
Good.
Awesome. Awesome. Anybody else? Wow, you guys know we have great times. We learn a lot. We share good news with each other. I'm kudos to you, Chantel. You guys gonna have so much fun at that wedding, because I know we've been planning this one for quite a while. So we're gonna have fun next week too. It's nothing like coming together with family and having a great time. Everybody gets to catch up and enjoy each other. That is so much fun. And the same thing with this call. Every week we just enjoy laughing and talking with each other, sharing new information, and growing, and definitely growing to where we all know when we first started, or when you first joined this conversation, you are a totally different person. So find out what you like. What do you want to learn? Do you want to learn a new language? Do you want to learn how to cook something? Do you want to know how to crochet, how to want to knit? You know, what is it that you want to learn how to do? And go out there and find a group of people that want to learn the same thing, and watch how you start making new friends. Because that's what it's all about. It's all about making new friends and sharing the knowledge that you have. And it's all about Surge 365 and traveling the world and creating families, financial. So that's another thing Chantel said. Whatever makes you happy, because we all love different things. We all like to do different things. We all have different favorite movies that we can watch over and over again. So find out what you like doing, and then make sure that's what you're doing, because you cannot do
Brenda.
it like somebody else. Yes, go right ahead.
So Charles Nicholson is at the convention. He's not going to be doing pre tonight, but he will do a debrief of the convention on Tuesday. So I'll put that on our the team site messenger. Right. And somebody just posted that there was a link to the convention or something like that. Anybody see that pop up?
No.
If you see it again, definitely put it on our group page.
Okay, it popped
For real?
in from
Yes.
Yeah, it was something of a different source, but I'll go find whatever that was that popped up, and I'll send it to the team page.
Great.
Oh, that'd be great. And everybody, if you have time, you can jump on and hear some good stuff. All righty. Anybody else? Wow. All righty. You guys know we have a great time talking, and we can talk. That's one thing we definitely know we could do. But listen, I want everybody to remember that we are the most trusted team in Surge 365. We're winners, we're believers, and we always get what we want once we set our mind to it. So I want everybody to have a great rest of your day, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. All righty. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Thank you.